Peter Cook here on the Hill with the chairman of the House Appropriations Committee, Hal Rogers, the Republican from Kentucky, talking about budget issues, spending issues, and you are a key player undoubtedly in all this. Thank you for the time, first of all.
Thank you.
Let me get, first of all, your impressions, what you heard from the president yesterday in terms of what his vision is for the deficit, for spending going forward. Did you hear a president you can do business with?
You got to get down to specifics, and he was really light on specifics yesterday. You know, nice sounding rhetoric, but we're borrowing 42 cents of every dollar we spend now. The annual deficit under this administration now is $1.4 trillion a year. The debt now is $14.2 trillion, and you can't continue the dialogue unless it contains some specifics about how you cut that spending. Now, the bill we got on the floor today to provide spending for the balance of fiscal 11 is record-breaking. We've never cut this much spending at one time ever in the history of the country, $40 billion less than we spent last year. So that's what we've got to get down to, and that is specifics, and he failed that test yesterday.
Let me ask you about the CR that's on the floor today. There have been criticisms of it from Democrats, of course, and even from some within the Republican side of the aisle. Any doubts right now about whether or not that's going to pass on the floor today?
Oh, sure, it'll pass. To say that there's disagreement about a bill in Congress that therefore is endangered, that's taking it a big step. No, sure, this is not a perfect bill. There's people that are on both sides of it. They think some people think we cut too much. Others think we cut too little, but I think we've got it just about right.
And you've got next up after that Chairman Ryan's budget resolution, budget plan for fiscal year 2012 and beyond. Of course, Appropriations Committee going to have to implement much of this. Can you reach the targets that he set in there?
Sure we will. It's not going to be easy. These are really tough targets that he is talking about, but they are specifics, and they give us some parameters within which we can operate. But yeah, we can pass the bills and stay within his parameters. We've got to convince the Senate to go along, and if we're to be successful, the president has to sign the bills that we pass. So it's a long, arduous road ahead of us, but I welcome it.
And for those people who suggest, again, some within the Republican Party, you all are not being ambitious enough. Even the Ryan plan is inadequate. The Republican Study Committee is going to put out its own proposal to balance the budget within 5 years. What do you make of that argument? Are you, in fact, could you be doing more?
We could be doing more. But politics is the art of the possible. And we've got to do what we can get done. I don't want to be one who's talking about goals that we can't reach. I want to talk about the goals that are within our grasp. And I think the Ryan platform is reachable.
Any doubts in your mind about whether or not, again, that is going to get a majority of support from the Republican conference on the floor as well?
I think, I think we'll get it. Yeah.
And let me just ask you a big picture again in terms of working with this president and the administration. The vice president is going to begin these talks with a bipartisan group of lawmakers. For Democrats who suggest, listen, Republicans have to put revenue on the table, they have to put tax increases on the table. Are you willing to, at least for the moment, consider that just to get those conversations started?
I don't think taxes should be involved here because that's not the problem. The problem is excessive spending. Look, spending has increased, discretionary spending has increased under this administration and Speaker Pelosi by 82% the last 2 years. That's what we've got to get a hold of, is the excessive freestyle spending that's been going on here. If we can control spending, I think we can lick this problem.
All right, Chairman Rogers, thank you very much for the time. Appreciate you joining us here on Bloomberg.